Hi students, this is main lesson 3 continuity. In the last lesson we have seen some of the standard results. For example, polynomial function is continuous, then identity function is continuous, and then constant function is continuous. In this lesson let us study the algebra of continuity. So that is the topic, algebra of continuity. Algebra of continuity means actually, suppose f of x and g of x are two functions, real functions, continuous at x equal to c. Actually this is a theorem, so this you can take as theorem. Statement is, if f of x and g of x are two real functions continuous at x equal to c, then the first one is f plus g is continuous. Continuous. Similarly, second one, f minus g is also continuous. Third one, f into g, this is also continuous. Fourth one, f by g, this is also continuous. Of course, here there is a condition, that is g of x should not be 0. That is the condition. Otherwise, it is not defined. So these are the three theorems actually. One is for addition, another one is difference, another one is product, another one is quotient. So let us prove them. Of course, I need not prove all of them. If I prove one, remaining similarly we can prove. So the proof is actually very simple, provided you know last year you have studied some theorems on limit. Let me first explain those things, then we shall prove this one. See, suppose you have a function f of x and another function g of x. Suppose limit of f of x as extends to say a, if this is L, and limit of g of x as extends to a at the same point, this is say M, or if you say L1 here and L2, then the theorem says limit of f of x plus g of x together as extends to a, this will be equal to L1 plus L2. That is, limit of the sum of a function is same as sum of the limit of the function. So the same thing is true if you take minus here, it is minus. Same thing, product, division, division. So this is the theorem we studied last year. Using this one we are proving this. So now what is given is, in the theorem, condition is f is continuous at x equal to c, g is continuous at x equal to c. Therefore what should happen is, so given f of x and g of x are continuous at x equal to c. This is given. Therefore, what should happen is limit of f of x as extends to c must be f of c, and limit of g of x as extends to c, this also must be g of c. So this is the condition because they are continuous. Now we have to show that this is also continuous. Therefore what we do is limit of f plus g of x as extends to c, we shall find this equal to limit of f of x. By definition, this is f plus g of x means f of x plus g of x. Therefore f of x plus g of x, of course then we have to put a bracket here, then extends to c. Now the limit theorem says limit of f of x plus g of x as extends to c can be separately written as limit of f of x extends to c limit theorem, then limit of g of x as extends to c. Now this equal to, I am continuing this here, this is f of c because it is continuous, it is given. Similarly, this is g of c. Now, by definition of addition of function, this is equal to f plus g of c. So now our starting point is this limit of f plus g of x as extends to c, but that is same as the functional value here. This implies f plus g is continuous at x equal to c. So this is the proof. And now here we have taken x equal to c, one particular point. Suppose you want to prove the same thing in a given interval, same problem method only. X equal to c is an arbitrary point. Since it is continuous at arbitrary point, it is continuous. But there is one important caution we have to take. F plus g is defined only for the common domain. This we have seen last year. That means domain of f and domain of g should be same. Otherwise, addition is not defined. So that is a basic assumption. Same thing here. So the understanding is that they must have common domain. So that is another important thing. Now same way, I need not prove the remaining. For example, minus, what you have to do is, here you have to take minus sign. See, it is so simple. Here minus, and here it becomes minus, and here also it becomes minus, and same thing, here it is minus, then here also it is minus. So this implies f minus g is continuous at x equal to 6. Same thing, product. So here instead of minus you take product, then you will get same thing, f by g. But condition here is g of, this is not 0, this is one thing actually, and g of c also should not be 0. So otherwise is f by g is not defined, and g of c, if it is 0 also, it is not defined. So these are the two conditions. So this is the theorem. Then based on this theorem, some interesting results we can list actually. See, remark, we can take it as remark. See, if f of x is continuous, then minus f of x is also continuous, So this is a useful result actually. For example, f of x equal to x is continuous, identity function. F of x equal to minus x is also continuous. So that is the consequence actually. So how to show this one actually, how to justify? Say for example, I can take f of x equal to f of x, no doubt. And or you can take say function h of x equal to f of x into g of x, let us say. Assume that f of x is also continuous, g of x is also continuous. Now if you take g of x equal to minus 1, because we know that g of x equal to minus 1 is also continuous function because it's a constant function. So this implies minus 1 into g of x is continuous, f of x is continuous. This means minus f of x is continuous. So h of x equal to minus f of x is also continuous because f is continuous. So this is continuous, this is continuous. By theorem, product of the function is continuous. So minus 1 into f of x is continuous. So minus f is continuous. So what do we mean by that? Whenever f is continuous, minus f is also continuous. Similarly, we can also show if this is the first result, if f of x is continuous, then alpha f of x is also continuous, any constant alpha f of x is also continuous, same argument, say is continuous. So all these things you can use in proving or discussing the continuity of a given function. Say for example, I can take h of x equal to f of x into g of x. Now you take this as f of x into alpha. Now what is alpha? This is g of x equal to alpha. So now apply the same theorem. h of x is product of two functions. F is already continuous. G of x equal to lambda is a constant continuous function because it is constant function. So product of two continuous function is continuous. So this is continuous function. Say for example, f of x equal to x. This is continuous. Therefore, f of x equal to 3x is also, or you will take another function, g of x equal to 3x is also continuous because x is continuous function, then 3 constant is continuous function, product of two continuous function is continuous, therefore it is continuous. So using this, see using this we can prove polynomial function is continuous because polynomial function is nothing but combination of scalar multiplication of identity function. So that is also, but we have proved this separately. So that now let us take one more important aspect, that is show that composite function is continuous. Of course, proof is not there. So this is the next theorem. Theorem is a composite function of two continuous function is continuous. So without proof, say I can give example. Let us take say f of x equal to sin x and g of x equal to, let us say, x square. Then f of sin x, f of x equal to sin x is continuous. Of course, I will show this one separately. This is continuous function. This is continuous function. Now you can take, for example, h of x equal to, let us say, f of g of x. So this equal to f of g of x means x square, then f of x means sin, therefore it is sin x square, composite function. This is continuous. We can show this is continuous because of this one. This is continuous function, this is continuous function, so this is continuous function. Similarly, even you can take say k of x, which is equal to g of f of x. This will be g of f of x is sin x and g of x is sin x whole square, but sin x whole square is same as sin square x. This is continuous because this is continuous function, this is, so this is also another useful result. So this is a continuous function. There are many questions. For example, you can show show that f of equal to mod x minus 1 is continuous. You can directly prove this one using that concept of limit only we can prove. But easy method now is, see what you have to do. You can imagine this as a composite function. How to show that it is composite function? For example, I can take h of x equal to x minus 1 linear function. This is one function, and g of x equal to mod x, second function. Then the combination of these two is this one. For example, I can show g of h of x will be equal to g of then h of x, and this equal to g of, what is h of x? It is x minus 1. And what is g of x? G is mod. So this is mod x minus 1. Now your argument should be like this. This is continuous because this is continuous. Polynomial function, continuous. This is mod function. We have already proved this is continuous. Combination, that is composite function of these two functions is continuous. So like this, any two functions which are composite function of two continuous function is always continuous. So this is the idea. Now let me show you how to show that sin x is continuous, cos x is continuous, even tan x is continuous. Remember, in its domain. You may say, for example, pi by 2 it is not continuous, but we are, see, whenever you are talking about continuity, first understanding is that we are talking in the domain, given domain. If the function is not defined, there is no question of continuity. So we can take, for example, f of x equal to sin x. Show that it is continuous function. So question is this. Question is f of x sin x is a continuous function. what is the method of proving? Of course, whenever you want a single function to be continuous, the method is you have to use the definition. So that means I have to take a point let. So proof is like this: let x equal to c be any point. Any point. So now, and we know that f of x equal to sin x is defined for all real values. We have seen the graph also. Now consider this one: limit of f of x as x tends to c. Now what should we show here? Show is this is equal to f of c. I have to show. So this is equal to now limit of x tends to c sin x. F of x is sin x. Now this you have to remember the technique which we used in the first year. Whenever a real number, number x tends to c, this indicates two things. One is x may be more than c, x may be less than c. That is the concept of left limit and right limit. Second one is whenever x tends to c, x is not equal to c. Therefore, definitely we can write x equal to c plus h, and this h can be positive, then right side, negative left side. So x equal to c plus h. Therefore, what we do is, but one more thing, whenever x equal to c plus h, when x tends to c, that means x becomes c, h becomes 0. Therefore, this is called substitution technique. So this we can write now. This we can write limit h tending to 0 sine of c plus h. So this is the technique. X tends to c, meaning x is very near to c. Therefore, I can take x equal to c plus h. That is first thing. Second one is when c tends to 0, sorry, c tends to, x tends to c, h tends to 0. So you can see here, put x equal to c, what happens? C equal to c plus h means h should be 0. So therefore now we have to use addition formula here. So limit of h tends to 0, sin a plus b, sin a cos b plus cos a sin b, use the formula. Therefore this is sin c cos h plus cos c sin h, and this equal to, now theorem, addition theorem. One function is this, another function is this. Therefore, I can write this as separately limit h tends to 0 sin c cos h, then plus limit h tends to 0 cos c sin h. So this will be equal to, no? See once again here, product rule I can use, but I need not show everything in detail. So take limit as h tends to 0. This is constant actually. So this becomes cos 0. So it is sin c cos 0 plus cos c, same thing here, sin 0. So this implies cos 0 is 1, sin 0 is 0. So sin c into 1 plus cos c into 0. This is sin c. This is sin c. But what is sin c? Sin c is same as f of c. So this is f of c. F of c. So limit of f of x as x tends to c is same as f of c, means this should be continuous function. So this implies f is continuous. So this is the proof of sin x. Same way now you can prove cos x is 0. What is the method? Take f of x equal to cos x. Here same. Here also same. Cos of c plus h. Here it is minus. Proceed further. You get the answer. Same thing for tan also. For example, when tan, condition is that sin by cos, but cos should not be 0. So that means at pi by 1. So these are the important aspects of continuity. Actually, I have completed all the concepts required for continuity. We have defined the continuity. Then we have seen how to find the left limit and right limit. When we have to use, only when the function is changing, we have to use that method. Then we have seen the properties of continuity, that is theorem on continuity, and that is addition theorem, product theorem, etc. In the next session, because I don't want to continue with the example again, in the next session, that is supplementary session, well, let us take the problems. There the question will be like this: show that function is continuous, one method. Second, discuss the continuity means you have to take the interval and see where the function is continuous, where the function is not continuous. So that type of question. Then sometimes application level questions also they ask. Sometimes they give a function. Say for example, this type of question will be there. F of x equals to something like this. Say ax plus b, and then uh, say cx plus d type of function, not exactly this type of function, where of course some interval is given here, some interval is given. They give that function is continuous. We have to find the constant based on the condition. That type of questions are there. So those things we shall work out in the supplementary lessons. So this actually completes the continuity concept. Of course, the next concept is differentiation. So actually these two are two different concepts, but these two are merged together, and the topic heading is given continuity and differentiability. Continuity is over. Whatever is required for continuity I have completed. Of course, examples you have to do. Then of course we have to start once again derivative. There of course we are studying some more additional concept of derivatives. With that, this chapter will be over. This is actually laying a foundation for the next chapter, application of derivatives. So please subscribe my channel if you have not yet subscribed. If subscribed, please watch all the lessons. First you will observe the main lesson, try to grasp the concept, then go to the supplementary lesson, and then revise. So this will definitely help you to get a better understanding of the chapter. Let us meet in the next session. Till then, bye, take care.